The reason why Africa is where it is right now is because education, so-called, has been weaponized against the African people, so that what we get in school is miseducation and diseducation without getting quality education, which is informed at taking us forward as African people, which teaches us that we are second best and we should be relevant to other people's interests as against our interests as African people. And my answer to this is that we need an African-centered education that is relevant for the lived reality of the African man, woman, and child. An African-centered education that centralizes our nationhood as African people. If we cannot even think as an African nation, if we cannot even think about tapping into the global relevance of who we are as an African nation, we will forever be lamenting and singing the same song over and over and depending on other people to design curricula for us, and we meet and we complain together. In rounding off, I just want us to answer again the question: what is the meaning of education if it does not speak to freeing the African mind? If it does not make sovereignty a reality, a lived experience to the African man, woman, and child, to the ordinary African man, woman, and child. We cannot continue to hear about sovereignty when it's uttered from a political platform. We want to experience it. We want to see it. It's not a mere political or ideological construct. It has to be a reality. And again, I will talk about Burkina Faso. The education that we are seeing championed in Burkina Faso is getting the Burkinabe to be proud of themselves and be proud of their own resources as the people of Burkina Faso. What are we doing to take pride of who we are as African people? What are we doing to ensure that in the dressing of the people, in the laws of the people, we are actually teaching something and ensuring that the children appreciate the role of Pan-Africanism with an African education that speaks to our reality as African people, without us constructing our clear identity as a global African nation. We will never move from this space. We'll be here next year and for the next 10 years saying the same thing. Thank you very much.
The people of the African continent, we are guilty unless we start demanding that we need to advocate for ourselves, that we need to reform our political systems, that, and we've heard it just previously now, a legislature that is asking speakers of parliament to accommodate them by making laws that speak to the benefit of the people. We should not be doing that if we are really there for the people and not for personal interest. And it is time that we must acknowledge that it is personal interest, personal gain that is destroying Africa. And for Africa to rise up and stand up for herself, and I can acknowledge why we do not want to take this on as African nations to rally behind Burkina Faso. It is because Burkina Faso is being led by military. And as governments, we are scared that if we are going to acknowledge that what Burkina Faso is doing, that it is in the interest of the people, we are scared that we will be overthrown by our military. And so we need to rise up to say, let us look at the principles that Burkina Faso is standing on and let us replicate it in our nations. It is time that we advocate the people of Africa must be first if we are going to achieve even this family charter. And in conclusion, we are speaking of family, we are speaking of sovereignty, but have we defined this? And we are talking about a pillar of education. Are we all having the same understanding what family values are, what African values are, what we mean by by sovereignty. And this is my contribution to say, let us include it in our charter that we have a common understanding of what we are speaking about. Reformation is here, and it needs to start with you and I thank you.
Africa, we are looking at our trade volume, mineral, I think 2023, because they haven't updated, was $193 billion. But now we can only achieve and improve it if we focus on intra-Africa travel. If I can get a visa, Mr. Moderator, I got Singapore visa-free. But I struggle for months to get a visa to South Africa. You know, I get a UK visa of 10 years. My African brothers, whom we helped to liberate in South Africa, they give me a visa of 7 days. Within Africa. It is much easier for us to hold a conference in Dubai and all of us get visas than to hold a conference in Africa and all of us get visas. And then you think we shall develop? So intra-Africa travel, intra-Africa trade, it's the only way we can really trade seriously. And I think I've been seeing Africa, how much we import, yet we would be getting it from our brothers and sisters within the continent. Would be much, much, much better. So working together will help us achieve more compared to sour graping all the time that we are being exploited. And like I said, Mr. Moderator, we might not be responsible for what happened in the past, but we shall be held responsible of what is happening today and in the future. We can no longer blame the colonialists, we must blame ourselves, and we must act now.
That beyond political independence, which it's easy for all of us to focus on as Africa, that we need to be independent politically, we need to recognize that true sovereignty requires more than political independence. It demands control over the systems that shape our future, and one of these systems is education. If we do not focus on education, on attaining sovereignty in the area of education, it could still remain a dream for us to talk about sovereignty. This means affirming African values, reducing external dependence in the area of donor aid, misaligned ideologies that have been passed on to us for generations, and it would mean empowering our own people, just like we are proposing in the charter that we are debating.
Our research institutions are being corrupted, and they are compromised, and then they tell us that our variety cannot meet the European standard as per the Samoa argument. Therefore, it is very urgent that when we leave this place, we really go back and start work, because it is a shame that our farmers, our products are being patented, and then we pay for the patent in order to get the plant. Thank you very much.